JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is a fantastic series. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And in all honesty, I think you cannot get through JoJo's without having a favorite part. You know what I mean? I feel like even if you like all the parts, there has to be a favorite part along the line somewhere. And today we get to talk about mine because I'm renewing a series I've taken a little break from, which is essentially recapping different parts slash talking about how much I liked each part. And today we're on part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. And today I'll tell y'all everything I liked about part 4, give y'all some little recaps, you know how the videos usually work. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't usually say that at the start of the video, but I felt the need to say it today. Anyway, Diamond is Unbreakable is my personal favorite part, and I'll tell y'all why. For me, I think it was a combination of the themes and the characters and the setting all hitting. On top of that, the anime, so the soundtrack was also hitting, and the coloring, the designs, all those things each had its own department of bangers. If we just talk about the sounds, the sound designs and the music and things like that, bro, part 4 has some of my favorite entrances, themes, like Yoshikage Kira's theme. That mysterious, mischievous ass beat, but I still love it though.
It was perfect. Perfect.
The endings was fire. The openings was fire. The OSTs were fire. Like, the music department for JoJo's in general never misses, but like they damn sure did not miss on part 4. Hey, I'm just spreading the gospel. Chase is still the best JoJo opening. You can fight me. But even beyond the music, the small town feeling that Morio gives you, it gives you, like, even when you start part 4 and you get that murder mystery feeling for the first time, really once we start like following Kira a little bit, bro, I was literally looking at my screen like, oh my god, what is this? Because it shows you the side that I think more mangaka needs to do, which is where they show you this part of a small town where you look a little bit deeper into it and it's just like everything is not what it seems. I feel like it worked so well with JoJo's because of stands. Without stands, like if it was hormone users doing this, it just wouldn't hit the same, you know what I mean? Because then it's just like, well, y'all could just go scrap, honestly. Y'all have similar abilities. But with stands, and since stands are so like personally unique, it makes sense when you have these characters like a chef and his stand is a food stand, or you have a hairdresser and her stand is related to hair, or whatever the case is, or when you just have high school kids who just have stands. That makes sense when stands are infected in the town of Morio, but no one really knows that everyone else has a stand. But that element, that world building key, was definitely something that like always drew me a lot more towards part 4, because then it was just like, now you have this whole community of people who have stands, who use their stands for good, who use their stands for whatever the case is. And they've been doing this even before they knew who Yoshikage Kira was or what Yoshikage Kira was doing in the dark. You know what I mean? It was like a different degree of world building I don't feel like we see from Araki again until part 7. We don't see that degree of world building from Araki again until part 7, because in part 4 you have Josuke and Okuyasu going around the entirety of Morio, in some cases chasing whoever it is down. I can think of a good few cases like when they were facing Red Hot Chili Peppers, or chasing that one short ass pale guy with the long hair when they were chasing him around town and on the pipes and shit. Like, and honestly, the world building aspect of it leads me into like talking about the characters and stuff, because I think even though the world building was so good, if the characters weren't interesting, we wouldn't be talking about the world building like that, in all honesty. At least I wouldn't be talking about the world building like that. I also feel like Araki did not miss with this main cast.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Like, it took Araki a while to miss with a main cast. And even then, I still don't call it a miss. But Rohan, Okuyasu, Koichi, Jotaro, Josuke. If you want to throw in Old Man Joseph in there, be my guest. Kira. That 7. When we're talking about main cast, that 7. Oh my god, that 7 was different, bro. All 7 of them. I'm willing to wager that all 7 of them are pretty good characters. Well, I'm not gonna put Old Man Joseph in there because he don't really do anything in part 4. So I'm gonna say 6 out of 7. But that's still high ass fucking marksman range. 6 out of 7 are really good characters. I find when Araki gives these characters like these epilogues at the end, like with Okuyasu's speech and him coming back, I find that, like, of course it's more enjoyable because I didn't just watch my favorite character fucking die, but I also find it to be really good for the right type of character because it just adds on to another layer of character. Like for Okuyasu, it makes sense why he goes back. He feels like there's unfinished business. He feels like he wants to be with his friends. He wants to protect his friends. He wants to protect his town that he's lived in. So of course he's going to go back. But the whole point of that was to show that Okuyasu's finally making his own decisions and he's not influenced by anyone else. He did it for himself. He made the decision for himself. And that's really what his brother wanted him to do. Like when he sees Okuyasu in the white light. And that's what everyone wanted him to do. And I'm glad Araki decided to add that part in. That Okuyasu's finally making decisions for himself and that he's not being controlled by his brother or whatever the case is. Because if you remember when his brother was alive, he was talking down to Okuyasu pretty bad. Like, I really do feel like when it comes to characters, Araki was in his, like, bag. I won't say that these are the best written set of characters I've seen, even in the parts of JoJo's. You know, I won't even say that set of characters are the best written set of set.
They said my big ass thumb.
I fucked that. Bro, damn.
But I think all those characters in part 4 were very fun, very entertaining, and I feel like most of them were given a good amount of layers that you could like actually analyze and think about depending on the character. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few character casts I might take over this character cast if we're talking about just writing. But if we're talking about like pure enjoyment, how often they made me laugh, oh yeah, part 4, that might be number 1 because I was dying during some of the like dialogue between Josuke and Okuyasu, or just Koichi in Echoes Act 3. Like, Echoes Act 3 was my dog. Nah, I didn't even mention dialogue at the start. Dialogue, definitely a top point of part 4. That dialogue, it really don't even depend what character we're talking about. In all honesty, it could be any character. Even part 4, Jotaro had me fucking dying when he showed up. Because he used to be saying the most random shit right before he beat your ass. Like when he at first told Kira, oh yeah, that's a nice watch. Mind you, he got damn near holes through his body. He grabbed this nigga wrist, oh yeah, that's a nice watch. Too bad, it's too, I'm finna make your face ugly. He said something like that. Then after you beat the fuck out of Kira, then he said, on second thought, that's an uglier watch. I'm gonna make your face even uglier. Why? Don't get me wrong. Part 3, Jotaro had his quips. He had his words, whatever the case was. He wasn't saying all that though. Usually he was not saying all that. Usually he's just punching the shit out of you, saying good grief and calling it a day. Why was he talking to Kira like that? Like, or even just Yoshikage Kira himself. Whenever he would hit niggas with, I'm Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. Like, that monologue, it was stuck in my brain, I think, for 2 years after I initially watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Because it was always so ridiculous to me that this nigga would tell you his almost half of his life story. This nigga telling you where he works, where he lives, what he eats, what he likes to do. This nigga is giving you a rundown right before he's like, all right, now you know too much. I gotta get you out of here. Why did you tell me? I feel like part 4, like, only, I don't know if I would call this a weak point, but like, I know some people do. I feel like part 4 only suffers from, I guess, too many filler episodes, which, for me personally at least, I don't feel like that was a problem, because it was what part 4 called for. You know, it's the small town murder mystery part. And Araki wanted to make it like such a homey feeling that he's adding in all these different stand users that work regular 9 to 5. So now we're getting these filler episodes, but they're cool. I like them. I fuck with them because they made sense in canon. It's not like it doesn't make sense for a 16-year-old who's been living in one town his entire life to go walking around his town and maybe start seeing some weird occurrences after he himself gained a stand. You know, that's like, I'm not surprised by that. But yeah, my first time watching part 4, I think that's like, part 4 was the deciding factor of what made JoJo's Bizarre Adventures one of my favorite animes ever. It was like a deciding factor because even as I talk about it now, it was so much that it just feels like so much is compacted into that part, and this is where we get like the start of like the super intricate stands. Like for a little bit, I'll admit, for a little bit I thought Bites to Dust was kind of intricate, because it was like, is this nigga reversing time? Is he rewinding time? Why is he doing that? Why is he not just letting his enemies die? Like, you know, I was just thinking. But in all honesty, those of you that know me, y'all know what I'm going to give part 4. Y'all know what I'm going to give Diamond is Unbreakable. Got to give it like a 10 out of 10. Smooth, quick, calm, efficient. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 2K. We're about, by the time of recording this, we're about like 5 away. So any subs or anything, much appreciated. And until next time, peace.